Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today we are going to discuss one of the core issues in the Muslim world, which is called the death penalty in Islam. Before I will elaborate the topic and discuss it thoroughly, let me recite a holy verse from the Quran from Surah An-Nisa, ayat number 229. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Tilka hududullah fala ta'taduha wa man yata'addad hududallahi faulaika humuz zalimun. It could be translated, these are the bounds set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not then transgress them. For they who transgresses the bounds set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is they who are evildoers. The topic, the death penalty in Islam, is one of the core issue of the present day Muslim world. The main reason for this is the justification that is permitted by the Quran. In order to properly understand the application of the death penalty under Islam or Sharia law, it is very necessary to first have a basic understanding of the various concepts which constitute Islamic law or Sharia law. Sharia is believed to cover all aspects of Muslims' life. For Muslims, it is the divine guidance which, among other things, encompasses the moral code and religious law of Islam. Sharia governs many areas of Muslims' behavior, including those relating to the crime, politics, taxes, inheritance, marriages, divorces, hygiene, environmental issues, diet, and prayers. It is a code of life, a complete way of life. There are 6,236 verses in Holy Quran. Only 500 verses deal with the aspects of the law. The limited number of verses dealing with the law lends the Sharia to multiple interpretations and reinterpretations. Basic objective of Quran and Hadith and Sharia is to protect the human life. The objectives of Sharia are to protect five indispensables, five important things, al-khamsa zururiya, which are the fundamental principles which underline the application of the law in Muslim society. Therefore, all laws were revealed in the Quran to preserve these five indispensables. They are the protection of life, an-nafs, the protection of religion, faith, deen, the protection of offspring, an-nasb, the protection of property, and the number 5 and last, the protection of an individual's intellect, aql. To protect these five things, Islam has established two approaches. Number one, moral education, which emphasizes the importance of cultivating taqwa, God consciousness, so that people do not commit crimes because they believe that God is watching everything. Alimun bizati sudur, He knows what is in our minds and in our hearts. And that they will finally face His judgment in the hereafter. Number two, since religious or moral piety alone cannot guarantee law and order in the society or in the country or in a state, Sharia laws prescribes forms of punishments which constitutes the criminal justice system of Islam. The function of law in Islam is to acquire, to achieve benefits. That is the very important thing for the maslihah, the individual, as well as for the common good or the public interest. While repelling harm, eliminate the harm from a society, it is also very important thing in Islam. Sharia laws are simply a means to achieve the goals, to achieve the destinations, and not an end in themselves, which is very important we should keep in mind. And similarly, repelling harm, take away the harm which could harm the people, means preventing anything that would undermine the indispensables or public interests, masaliha. Thus the death penalty was seen as a way of decreasing the crime, deterring crime and sin in Islam, and repelling harm from the masaliha. Whether that is still applicable in a modern day society, we will discuss it in next episode. This was the introduction of the death penalty of Islam. Inshallah, we will discuss in next episode what are the basis of Islamic law. Jazakumullahu khair, ahsanul jaza.